Last year, the global weed killer industry quietly pocketed over $39 billion. The average gardener spends a small fortune and countless back-breaking hours every single season, drenching their soil in toxic chemicals just to fight a losing war against weeds. But miles away, in the deep, rural farmlands of Pennsylvania, the Amish are growing massive, pristine crops without a single weed in sight. They spend absolutely $0 on herbicides. They use zero heavy machinery. Their ultimate weapon against weeds is not some highly guarded patented chemical formula. It is a piece of worthless garbage thrown into dumpsters every single day. Cardboard. How exactly does a discarded shipping box completely defeat a multi-billion-dollar agricultural empire? And why has the modern chemical industry tried to keep this soil-healing secret completely buried for over 50 years? Picture an Amish farm at dawn. The morning mist settles heavily on massive cabbage leaves and heirloom tomatoes, practically bending their vines. But if you look closely at the ground beneath the boots of these traditional farmers, you will notice something deeply unsettling to modern eyes. There is absolutely no bare dirt. Not a single inch of soil is left exposed to the sun. This is the exact opposite of what we are taught. Modern agriculture is completely obsessed with stripping the earth naked, tilling the topsoil until it turns to dust, and leaving it baking under the brutal sun. But the Amish, along with generations of forgotten ecological farmers, understand a fundamental law of nature. Bare soil is dead soil, and this changes everything you thought you knew about weeds. Weeds are not invading enemies trying to ruin your garden. They are nature's emergency first responders. The second you rip open the earth with a tiller, nature panics. It immediately deploys weed seeds to quickly form a protective scab over the open wound, shielding the delicate microbiology below from the deadly ultraviolet rays. When you realize this, the entire war on weeds becomes completely pointless. You are fighting nature's healing process. But to truly understand how the Amish managed to bypass the plow and completely eliminate the need for chemicals, we cannot just look at the surface. We have to look under the microscope. When you throw a thick sheet of corrugated cardboard over a patch of aggressive weeds, you are not just covering them up. You are triggering a massive, three-step biological chain reaction. First, you are initiating total photosynthetic blackout. Every single weed underneath that cardboard is instantly cut off from the sun. Without sunlight, photosynthesis completely shuts down. The weeds slowly starve and suffocate in the dark. But instead of ripping them out by the roots, which destroys the fragile soil structure, the cardboard forces those weeds to rot right where they stand. This releases a massive surge of pure nitrogen directly back into the earth. Second, cardboard is essentially pure carbon. It is made from tree pulp, which is packed with massive amounts of cellulose. When this thick, corrugated layer gets wet, its internal flutes become microscopic moisture traps. It creates an absolute paradise for nature's ultimate tillers. Earthworms. Drawn to the darkness, the moisture, and the limitless buffet of carbon, thousands of earthworms migrate to the surface. They devour the decaying cardboard and leave behind incredibly rich vermicast, the most expensive and nutrient-dense natural fertilizer on the planet. Third, in this dark, damp, completely undisturbed environment, something miraculous happens. The soil's central nervous system wakes up. The mycorrhizal fungi network. These microscopic white fungal threads explode into life, spreading aggressively through the wet cardboard. They break down the carbon and act as an underground internet, transporting water and rare minerals directly to the roots of your future plants. These biological theories sound perfect on paper, but when applied in harsh reality, can a piece of soggy cardboard truly hold up? While the Amish rely on generations of deep farming instinct across the ocean in the United Kingdom, legendary market gardener Charles Dowding has spent his entire career proving this exact cardboard method with hard, undeniable data. At his famous Homemaker's Farm, Dowding runs strict side-by-side trials. One test bed is deeply tilled and managed the traditional way. Right next to it, the second bed is never dug. It is simply smothered with thick brown cardboard and layered with a few inches of compost. The results over the last decade are absolutely staggering. The beds protected by cardboard require over 80% less time to weed. That is hundreds of hours of backbreaking labor simply erased. During severe summer droughts, while the deeply tilled soil bakes and cracks wide open, the cardboard beds hold moisture like a giant subterranean sponge. The plant roots stay perfectly cool and protected. And the harvest? The unturned cardboard-protected soil consistently produces noticeably heavier, faster growing, and far more resilient crops. The data completely shatters the myth that soil needs to be plowed to be productive. Seeing this real magic at homemakers, you are probably ready to run out to the nearest dumpster and grab every shipping box you can find. But wait, just one single mistake in how you lay this cardboard down, and you will accidentally breed an absolute disaster in your garden. Here is the exact right way to do it. First, you must become completely ruthless about your materials. You only want plain, brown, corrugated cardboard. You have to peel off every single shipping label. You must rip out every metal staple. And most importantly, you must completely strip away every last scrap of plastic packing tape. If you skip this step, you are permanently poisoning your soil with toxic microplastics and heavy metals, injecting them straight into the earth that grows your family's food. And never ever use boxes with glossy, waxy finishes or heavy-colored inks. Second, you have to master the shingle principle. You cannot just throw boxes randomly on the dirt. You must lay the cardboard down exactly like overlapping shingles on a roof. Every single edge must overlap the next piece by at least 6 to 8 inches. Do not leave a single gap. If there is even a millimeter of space between the boxes, aggressive weeds will snake through the dark, find that tiny crack of light, and completely breach your defenses. Finally, soak the cardboard. Take a hose and drench the boxes until they are heavy, soft, and molded perfectly to the natural contours of the earth. Then lock it all in place. Cover the wet cardboard with a thick layer of rich compost, wood chips, or dead autumn leaves. It is incredibly easy to do. The materials are entirely free, and the miraculous results have been proven for decades, which leads to one massive, undeniable question. Why has this revolutionary technique never been featured on mainstream agricultural news or modern gardening textbooks? The answer is cold, simple, and entirely financial. You cannot patent a piece of garbage. The massive agricultural corporations that dominate our global food system do not make money when you become self-sufficient. They cannot report record-breaking quarterly profits to their shareholders if millions of gardeners suddenly realize they can heal their land using free boxes from the local grocery store. For over half a century, these mega corporations have spent billions of dollars shaping university agricultural programs and funding massive marketing campaigns. They needed to burn a specific, highly profitable lie into the minds of farmers and home gardeners everywhere. The lie that you must aggressively till the earth to grow a successful crop. But tilling is a trap. It is a carefully engineered cycle of dependency. When you rip open the soil with a machine, you force millions of dormant weed seeds to the surface to germinate. The weeds explode. You panic. So you are forced to buy their expensive weed killers. But those products destroy the fragile microbiology in your soil, leaving the dirt dead and completely stripped of natural nutrients. Your plants begin to starve, so you have to go back to the store and buy their expensive synthetic fertilizers just to keep your crops alive. And the very next spring, you have to till the ground all over again, starting the highly profitable cycle entirely from scratch. Using a piece of wet cardboard is not just a clever gardening trick. It is a direct act of rebellion. It completely severs the financial supply chain that keeps everyday growers trapped. You are taking back the power to produce food on your own terms without paying a lifelong subscription fee to a corporation. There is no magic in the Amish garden. They simply refuse to fight against the basic laws of nature. They understand that the earth desperately wants to be covered, and they provide that cover for free. So this weekend, stop paying massive companies to poison your own backyard. When those delivery boxes arrive at your front door, do not throw them away. Peel off the plastic tape, soak the cardboard in water, and lay it directly over the most overgrown, chaotic patch of dirt on your property. Let the darkness and the earthworms do the heavy lifting for you. Before you head outside, I want to know something. What is the one stubborn, aggressive weed that is absolutely exhausting you right now? Tell me in the comments below, and we will figure out how to turn it into free fertilizer. Hit subscribe so you never miss another forgotten farming secret that puts the power completely back in your hands. The earth belongs to you. It is time to take it back.